I have been watching this Netflix doc called Hitler and the Nazis, Evil on Trial. And basically, they have all this wonderful colorized footage, which really I hate it in fictional movies, but in nonfiction, it really does bring the old films to life. And it's basically this accurate history of the Nazi rise to power and World War II and what was happening. But it has this absolutely despicable commentary by historians, not all of them, but a number of them, comparing Hitler to Trump in pseudo-subtle ways. So talking about how Hitler wanted to make Germany great again, or comparing Hitler's disaffected voters to the disaffected Americans who voted for Trump, or referring to Hitler's vacation home as his Mar-a-Lago. Here's just a little montage we put together of the commentary by these historians.
Hitler claims that his life mission will be to claw back control from the dark forces of history and to make sure that Aryan Germans like Hitler will run the fortunes of Germany and that they will make Germany a great country again.
It's a group of people who feel shunned. So if we want to make a contemporary analogy, we can see the sort of forgotten people in America. There is a sense that the system has dealt them a bad hand. It's sort of like Hitler's Mar-a-Lago, if you will. A kind of retreat in the Bavarian Alps.
So I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, hey, I like this game. I want to play this game too. So Hitler and Trump, they're alike. They both hold rallies and they both speak in loud voices. They both try to silence the opposition. Oh, wait, no, that's Biden. Biden silences the opposition. They both arrest their political opponents. No, wait, sorry. That's Biden. Biden arrests his political opponents.
Come on, give me a break, man.
Not just Trump, but Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, Michael Flynn, Steve Bannon, Walt Nauta, who's just an assistant to Trump, Carlos de Oliveira, just the guy, the property manager at Mar-a-Lago. Not to mention peaceful protesters who are against abortion, like a 75-year-old woman they just sentenced to 2 years in prison, which is basically a death sentence for an old lady who just wanted to save the lives of unborn children. Okay, but still, Trump holds rallies and talks loudly, so he's like Hitler that way.
Gee, that's too bad.
What else? Hitler found it fair to use physical violence to intimidate the opposition. So that would be, that's Biden too, really, because, he's having these old ladies in prison for protecting babies, but everyone who passed by the Capitol on January 6th has to be hunted down. But the George Floyd rioters, those were fine. In fact, the city of New York just agreed to pay $13 million to hundreds of people who were arrested. So that's more like Biden. He uses violence, lets violence run free. The left and Biden lets violence run free to intimidate his opposition. Okay, but indulging in heavy strains of anti-Semitism, including turning a blind eye to violent attacks on Jewish people, that would be Biden. Okay, that's Biden. Okay, so let's play the game that way. And then we see that, in fact, if you want to draw comparisons, you really have to look at Joe Biden and Hitler. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Joe Biden is Hitler. I think if you're going to call somebody Hitler, you got to produce the bodies. You got to produce the wars. A lot more wars started under Biden. No wars started under Trump. So that's another way that Biden's like Hitler. But no, I don't think that Biden is like Hitler. What I do think is that this Netflix show is a perfect metaphor for the American state of communication and the American state of mind, because the history is accurate. So we can see the history unfolding. We can see that the person who's most like this, who's most following this authoritarian playbook, are the Democrats, is Biden. And then we hear the commentary, and it's like this steady gaslighting, right? Because even though we see with our own eyes that the people who lie, the people who silence, the people who arrest the opposition, the people who let violence go unpunished when it's violence on their side, all the Democrats, all the left, all Biden. And then we hear this commentary telling us, oh no, it's Trump. It's like Mar-a-Lago. Hitler goes on holiday. That's like Mar-a-Lago. Hitler holds rallies and talks in a loud voice. That's like Trump. The narration is never-ending gaslight. And so the state of mind is exactly the same, right? That we see what's happening. We see history unfolding. We see people being arrested on minor crimes. We see the opposition party being arrested, Donald Trump being put on trial for nothing. And yet the press keeps telling us that what we're seeing is not what's happening, and what's happening isn't happening. That's the definition of gaslight. That's from that famous play, Gaslight, by a British writer. It was called Angel Street when they put it on here, where a husband is turning down the gas lights in the house and then telling his wife she's not seeing it. That's what's happening. We see this happening, but they're telling us not. This poisons the well of conversation. It makes it impossible for Americans on both sides to debate like adults, to compromise and negotiate like fellow Americans. They're drowning us in lies. They give credence. It gives credence to the worst on the left and the right, because now the people in the middle are alienated from one another. So the people on the extremes now have the loudest voices. And it makes the reasonable people sick and tired. All that extremism, all the hatred, all the rage makes reasonable people tired of politics. I keep hearing this. I don't want to go on social media anymore. I don't want to think about politics anymore. I hear this from reasonable, decent people. And who does that leave in control of the field? It leaves the extremists on the left and right, which is what happened in Germany. The problem we are facing right now is not the problem we are facing. Our problems are not the problem. The problem is the lying. The problem is the lying of a failed and corrupt elite who demonize the normal men and women of every race and color and creed, who may be a little bit on the left, maybe a little bit on the right, maybe even a little further left and right. You know, we have our differences in this country, which is fine. There's a lot of us here. But when you start to think that there's no Venn diagram, there's no place where the sides can get together and talk, that's the press and academe and Hollywood and the Democrat administration demonizing everybody who opposes them. For more Klavan-y magnificence, like and subscribe, and please subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts. You will like it.